Hello. Just connecting here. All right, so it's 6:28, so we'll start right on 6:30. So we've got 2 minutes. Just getting yourself nice and comfortable for our hour that we have together this evening for our Wellness Wednesdays. Loving these Wellness Wednesdays. It's such a great halfway point through the week just to come, just to connect, just to talk about just different wellness areas and how we can really implement these into our life. So as always in the comments, just popping in how your day was with an emoji. If you can sum it up in one emoji, go for it. And just grabbing a glass of water or a cup of tea, or if you've got your dinner, that's beautiful too. It's getting ready to start our 5th mastery class. So out of the 6, this is our second last one, and we have our last one next week. And this one is all about connection. So we'll do a little check-in, a little practice to start before we get into it. I've got my chamomile tea tonight with some honey. All right, so it's 6:30, so we'll make a start. For the wellness awareness, this tonight is connection. So we've done physicality, mentality, emotionality, and last week was spirituality. And this week is connection. And this is our second last aspect of the wellness awareness model. So you can download, if you haven't already, or if you've lost your copy, you can go to the website and you can download your own booklet. Now the booklet has information, it has a bit of teaching about each aspect, as well as the reflective questioning that we go through. So it's your own copy that you can keep. And as I said, tonight is about connection. And we'll get into what that means. We'll talk about it in more detail, have a little discussion about it, what it means, and how it really looks, what it really looks like in our life, and how we can deepen it, how we can strengthen it, and really allow it to enhance our well-being. Then we go through the booklet, we look at the teachings in there, have a look at the reflections, the questioning, and then I just run through a few practices that we've been doing during the week. So in the morning, I've been doing a different connection practice each morning, and they've been uploaded to YouTube. Still got a few to upload, so we've only got one up there at the moment, but you can look forward to all of them being uploaded by the end of the week. So you can have them and you can just return to them time and time again and pick out what one you really love and keep coming back to it whenever you need. So you've got lots of practices to support you. All right, so before we start on the information side of it, we'll just drop in and connect first. So wherever you are, find a comfortable seated position. You might like to stand if that feels more comfortable for your body, or even lie down for a moment if you feel like you need a little bit more relaxation or you've had a busy day. Find a comfortable position and allow yourself to get 1% more comfortable in whatever position you chose. Can you relax the shoulders a little more? Can the spine maybe straighten a little more, lengthening from the tailbone all the way through the crown shining towards the sky, and then just drawing the chin in slightly, just gliding it back, and this allows our shoulders to melt down a little more. Allow the legs to be heavy wherever they are, and the upper body to rise a little higher out of the lower body. And if it feels nice, you might like to close down the eyes. You've been busy today, doing lots of reading or looking and just using our eyes a lot, so it's nice to just close them down for a moment here, allowing them to gently close. Maybe allowing the eyeballs to just sink a little, to melt a little backwards in their sockets. Allow the tongue to soften, the root of the tongue to soften, the jaw, the throat, and the ears. If your mind's still whirling from today, let's just take a deep breath in together through the nose. Just following the inhale as it comes in, just holding it for a moment at the top, and then you can just blow it all out the mouth or the nose, your choice. Let's just take a few more just like this, just connecting to the breath. Breathe in as it comes in through the nose. Hold it at the top for a moment, and when you're ready, let it out the mouth or the nose. One more in your own time, and take your time. There is no rush for this breath. Take all the time you need. Be selfish with your time as you breathe in. As you hold it, just immersing yourself, being full with breath, and in your own time, just letting it all out, emptying the breath. Again, just immersing yourself in the out breath, just allowing it to return to normal. Perhaps you've noticed that your muscles have loosened a little more, that your forehead has smoothed, that your brain even starts to become a bit more relaxed inside the head space. Easing any tensions here from your day. Just becoming super present with how your body is right now. And following that breath as it cycles, as it arises, and as it subsides. And just bring to mind someone that makes you so happy. It could be a friend, a loved one, it could be a pet. Just bring to mind someone that just brings a smile to your face, that makes your heart feel lighter, that makes you breathe a little easier. And to this person that you have in your mind's eye, just repeat the words, repeat the mantras. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free of suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free from suffering. And now bring to mind someone that is an acquaintance, someone that you maybe see every now and then, someone that you may not talk to but you notice that you've met maybe once or twice. And just bring this person to mind, whoever pops into mind. Just bring them here for a moment. Let's repeat the words. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free from suffering. May they be happy. May they be healthy. May they be free from suffering. And now let's bring to mind an aspect of nature. Now, this could be your backyard, if you have a plant that you're looking after. Could be a tree, could be a park, could be the sky. Whatever comes to mind, just allow it to be there. And to this aspect of nature, this part of the world, let's say the mantra, may they be happy, may they be healthy, may they be free from suffering, may they be happy, may they be healthy, may they be free from suffering. And with all this good feeling, these positive words, these well wishes, this positivity, let's bring that to ourselves now. So perhaps bring an image of yourself in your mind's eye as you are now, or maybe as a child. Let's repeat the words to ourselves. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be free from suffering. Just allow these words to rest gently on the shoulders, encasing you like a big warm hug, like a big warm blanket, covered in these words. And allowing it to sink and melt into your body, into your cells, into the bones and muscles, into the mind, and into the heart. And in your own time, taking a deep breath in and deep breath out. And when you're ready, you can blink open the eyes, bring some movement back into the body. So that was a loving kindness meditation. And that really just sums up what our connection aspect is all about. It's about being fully present to who it is, or where we are, or with ourselves. It's being really mindful, understanding, and that loving energy, that calm energy, that higher self, that higher perspective. So that's what we're talking about tonight. And at the end of tonight, at about 20 past 7, I'm going to talk about an exciting announcement. So wait for that till the end of the session. But if you miss it tonight, this will be uploaded to YouTube so you can access it at a later time. But an exciting announcement coming up later at about 7:20. I'll talk about it then. All right, so connection. To me, connection really means being present. It means presence. You are aware, you're involved, you're engaged, you're immersed with the present moment. So that could be a person, that could be yourself, that could be the world around you. And the second part of that connection, that presence, is that connection is also about the relationships that we have with ourselves, with others, and the world around us. And the beautiful thing is that if we work on one relationship, it's going to overflow and spread into those other aspects as well. So if we just work on the relationship we have with ourselves, that's always a good place to start. But you can start with any. But working on that relationship with yourself Bring that loving kindness into it, that mindfulness, that presence, understanding, building that kind of relationship with yourself and having that connection to yourself is one of the best ways to build resilience. One of the best ways to help us overcome and bounce back from struggles or any obstacles that we face. And it really builds our health and wellness from the inside out. Having that strong connection so we are aware of ourselves and we understand our needs. We really understand what we need for self-care. We can set boundaries and we can also be a little bit easier on ourselves as well when we have that connection, that respectful relationship with ourselves. And it can be really difficult because we all have that inner critic, and that inner critic can be so loud and can be so mean, and there we are our own worst critic. So if we can build a positive, loving relationship with ourselves, it will spill over into all aspects of our life, and it'll really help with our health as well, with disease, mental disorders, mental illness, and physical as well. So looking at the relationships with others. So this is with the immediate people around us. It could be people, oh, my light's dying, that's okay. So the relationships that we have with others. And just again, it's those same adjectives of having that loving, kind, understanding, which can be really difficult to maintain all the time. But that's what we work for, and that's what we strive for. But when we don't do it, that's when we have that kindness and understanding that we're just human and we're all trying our best and we're all going through things. And that's just life. And the third relationship, the third connection, is our relationship we have with the world around us. And this is the environment. This is our home. This is the place we work. This is nature. So having that relationship with the world around us, being present to the amazing sky that might be happening, the sunset, or what needs work, what needs protection in our environment, or how we can fix things in our environment, how we can make them better, how we can improve them, how we can look after them, and really how we can appreciate the world around us as well and what we have. So that gratitude comes into it as well. So gratitude is a really great practice for building connection to the world around us and having that appreciation. So mindfulness and gratitude are great practices to be building and strengthening and cultivating connection. So if we think about having a good connection, it kind of means like we are aligned with that person or that place in a really meaningful way. So connection is meaningful. Because we think of when we feel disconnected, we feel like we don't have any meaning. We feel lost, we feel confused, anxious. But when we feel aligned in these really positive, meaningful ways, think of when you had that sense of connection with something. Maybe you were out camping, or maybe you were somewhere in nature, you were at a beach or on holidays. You're somewhere really special to you and you're really present. Maybe you're on holidays. And that sense of connection, you think about what that brings to our well-being. So it brings that sense of peace, relaxation. So it can be a relaxation technique, just bringing in connection. That feeling of safety. So we get out of that fight and flight mode and we go into that parasympathetic nervous system activation, where we feel truly connected. When we feel truly connected, we feel very at one. Like in spiritual traditions and ancient philosophies, that they talk about that sense of oneness with the world, with people, just everything seems okay. That connection. So, at a basic level of human needs, connection is that basic fundamental need that we all have, that sense of belonging. And there are studies and there's research to show that loneliness, social isolation has a big effect on our health. That disconnection, isolation, where we start to feel unsure, we start to feel confused, fearful, anxious, all of these things. Maybe it relates back to when we back, all the way back in evolution, when we needed that group to survive. And we needed that connection to feel okay, to feel safe. So we still need that now. And technology is great that we can connect with people like that, and we can message someone whenever we need. But having that physical, being there with someone or on the phone, is we need that, and we need that physical touch as well. And they show that in studies with babies, if they don't have that human contact, that they have developmental delays. So their brain doesn't form as well without that physical touch and physical connection. So it is for our physical health as much as it is for our psychological health or our mental health. So it is very holistic in how it can help and heal, but also how it can harm if we are feeling isolated or if we're not connecting in deep and meaningful ways to ourselves, to others, to the world around us. So this can look like depression if we're not connecting in meaningful ways. This can look like anxiety. It can come out as frustration or anger. And we really need to work on that relationship with ourselves. But we can have other people around us first, so we can use nature and the world around us to strengthen those connections as well. So that stress that social isolation can have is on our body and our mind. And if we flip it, those deep connections, those meaningful connections, those joyous connections that we have with ourselves, others, and the world around us, really nourishes us, just like a really good meal. So think about nutrition when you've been eating really well and you're drinking really like lots of good water and teas, things like that. How nourished you feel from the inside out. How you have that glow, you feel vital, you have energy, you can think clear, you feel confident in yourself. Connection, if we have a deep connection and it's meaningful, it can nourish us in that same way. We can feel vital, we can feel energetic, we can feel confident, we have that glow from the inside. It can help us think clearer, and it can help us gain a bigger perspective, which is where it helps if we're suffering from anxiety or we're feeling fearful. So connection really nourishes us physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually as well. So connection, last week it was all about spirituality. Spirituality is very connected to connection. So very similar, and we can find that connection in spirituality if that's what floats our boat. But just finding, as always, what works for you is the most important thing. So knowing that connection plays a significant role in our well-being, what can be a solution to strengthen this? And there's lots of ways. which is the beauty of it and why it's so, so great and such a pretty simple way we can really boost our well-being. If we feel like we've got our sleep, like we're pretty happy with our sleep, pretty happy with our nutrition, physically, we're all happy with what we're doing, we're feeling good in our bodies, our mental health's good. Connection is another way to really boost our well-being and help support us and build us from the inside out with that resilience, building that resilience with connection. So nature can be a solution, and this has lots of studies show the physiological, so the body, and the psychological, so our mental, how great being in nature is, because we feel connected when we're in that natural world. We can feel more connected than perhaps if we're in the middle of the city, in amongst all the big buildings and traffic, which can have very jarring effects on our body and put us in slightly into that fight and flight mode, a little bit stressed, a little bit on edge. But if we find ourselves and take ourselves out into nature, if we just gaze up at the sky, if we're in the park, we feel that sense of, and if we're present, we become present. Maybe we can put our feet on the earth, take our shoes off, connect our feet with the grass or the earth beneath us, or just allow the sun to just be on our skin and just notice how it feels, the warmth or the breeze, just taking in that, the environment, using our senses to connect, and getting out of our heads. We can, this has so many beautiful benefits for our body and our mind. So just having that mindful, attentive, that is key. Having attention, our attention focused, so we can connect. If our attention is splattered all over the wall and it's thinking about yesterday, it's thinking about tomorrow, it's thinking about all these jobs I have to do, our attention is just scattered. It's in all different millions of pieces, and it's really hard to connect when we're scattered like that. So if we can bring our attention into one strong focus, we can connect, and we can connect deeply and meaningfully, and it feels really good. So you can do a mindful walking meditation where you're just walking, you're feeling your feet connect with the earth. The bare earth is even better if you can do that, just walking around. And at the Buddhist meditation retreat that I did, where we learnt mindful walking and we practiced it for 3 days in silence, and it was all about feeling your foot. So just noticing every movement as it comes down and as the other one lifts up, and you're doing this very slowly and very mindfully. So that helps you to really connect and become grounded and connect with the world around you. Just observing, just looking, just being that observer and taking in everything can get us out of our thinking minds and into the present moment. And of course, that loving kindness practice where we can say some phrases such as, may you be happy, may you be peaceful, may you be well, whatever it is, as long as it has that positive connotation, that loving kindness to it, and you're sending that. And you can do it in lots of different ways, but you can send it to someone that needs it. So perhaps there's someone that may be ill, maybe suffering, maybe going through a hard time, or maybe you just want to send them some loving kindness. You can just have them, bring them into your mind, and just repeat those words and just feeling it as well. So feeling that emotion, so you're having that the mentality and the emotionality connected to really be aligned and coherent, and it's even more powerful when we do it like that. So connecting mind, body, heart, and sending that loving kindness out to someone else that needs it. But it's really powerful when we do it and we bring to mind people that we may not be getting along with, that we may have an issue with, that they might just not be our people and we have to work with them, or whatever it is. We have to maybe see them on the weekends. Those people that just, it's just tough. if we can do this loving kindness and bring that person or people like that that maybe rub us the wrong way, if we can bring that loving kindness to them, it is so, so powerful. And the effects are crazy. And it just brings such goodness back to you, like that karma. So what you give, what you receive. And then it just allows you to see them in a different light as well. So loving kindness is a really good practice for those kind of situations. So now I just want to look at the Wellness Awareness Booklet. So as I said, you can download it for free on the Health Coach Approach website, and it will just be sent to you as a PDF that you can download and you can save to your desktop, and you can print out if you like, or just save it there for you to refer back to whenever you need or whenever you would like to do those reflective questions. And those reflective questions are there just to start thinking, start bringing your awareness in, start having that consideration, that contemplation time about how we are and how we live day to day, and just being mindful of that. So, connection. Connection is your relationships. I'm just reading from the booklet now. Relationships include those with yourself, others, and the world. Our connections can completely change our health and our life by bringing attention and mindfulness to the connections we have with ourselves and the world. We can create an extraordinary life. Connections can have a significant impact on your health and well-being in positive or negative ways. The way in which we interact and connect with ourselves, other people, the environment, and the world around us can be mindless or mindful. It can be laced with fear or love, and this influences everything. True connection cannot simply occur in fight and flight mode. So that's when we're not truly present and we're maybe a little fearful, a little anxious. But to be truly healthy in our body, mind, and soul, we need to be aware of our connections. Do you race through life, too busy to smell the roses or notice the sky? Do you fear that there isn't enough time or that people are out to get you? Do you not know who you are or what you were put on this earth to do? Do you really listen to your loved ones when they speak, or listen to yourself and what you need? Take some time to pause and consider the following questions. And it says you can write them in the space below or in a journal if you have that handy. Come back to these reflections anytime you feel this wellness area needs a reboot, reshuffle, or rebalance. So, there's 7 questions, and these ones are the first one. Do I regularly stop and check in with myself? So that first relationship with ourselves. Do we just stop and check in? Do we ever pause and just ask, how am I going? How am I feeling? Am I okay? Am I tired? What else have I got here? Maybe it was after an event or a night out or whatever it was, catch up with friends. Did I enjoy that experience? Am I feeling frustrated? Do I need a break? So there's so many little questions that we can ask ourselves throughout the day, but just having that regular check-in. Maybe do I need to get up and move? Have I been sitting at the computer for too long? Are my eyes tired? Do I need to blink them a little and go and look outside and off my computer screen? Am I too cold, too warm? So lots of these things we do are automatic, but if we can bring some presence and mindfulness to it, will really strengthen that connection even more. So number 2, do I regularly stop and really notice what's going on around me? So that's that becoming that observer and that witness for even just a moment or two. Again, it's that stopping and pausing, being able to just take a moment from the day, even though we all have things to do, places to be, things to get done. But if we can just stop for a moment and just notice what's around me, even if that is if you're in the same office every day, we become used to it. But then we can bring some mindfulness around, and we can bring some gratitude with that as well. So if you love the office that you're in, or the space that you're in, your bedroom or your house or wherever it is, if you can really stop and notice and look around and go, oh, I love that, or I really appreciate this, all these memories that come with that photo, whatever it is, just stopping and pausing for a moment can be so beneficial for our well-being and our health. So number 3, do I really listen when someone is speaking to me and meet their eyes and connect with what they're saying? So I was reading this book last night, and it's The Biology of Success. And it was just talking about how when we're in a conversation and when the other person's talking, we usually just prepare what we're going to say next. So they're talking and we're just getting ready for what we want to say, which is so normal and so natural, because that's how the conversation flows, right? If one person wasn't doing that, it would kind of just, that person would keep talking and we wouldn't be saying anything back to them. But if we're just not really listening to what they're saying, if we think we know what they're going to say, this can become very mindless, and we're just not really connecting. Which, if we're tired and things like that, it happens, and it's hard to do all the time. But as everything, all of this wellness awareness stuff, it's just about practice. It's about bringing it more into our life and being aware of it. So just really listening when someone's speaking to me. So just being completely, this biology of success was talking about being so immersed in what someone is saying. So you're really listening to each word, and you're just pretending you don't know what's coming next, and you're getting lost in what they're saying, how they're saying it, and the words that they're using. Or if you're reading a book, you're getting lost in that word as it comes up each time. So just full immersive in that conversation and just really looking at them. So just super basic, but putting phone away. They say there was some research done, and it was saying if our phones are in our eye line, our attention gets drawn to that. It's still on that, even if we're not using it, or if it's off or away or whatever. But if it's still in our eye line, we know it's somewhere close by, we're going to be thinking about that. So our full attention, again, that scattered attention, I'm going to bring it back to nice and coherent. So just putting your phone away, turning the TV off, or having some nice music in the background when you're having a conversation, or just going somewhere that is a bit more quiet, or a bit nicer if you're having a conversation or meeting someone. So having that, as they say, that quality time. So, but that is difficult to do all the time. So that's why it's a practice. So number 4, do I feel like the world has my back, or do I feel like the world is against me? So this is interesting, and for me, most of the time, I feel like the world is supporting me, that It's there to help me. But when we're feeling angry or lost or confused or something's happened, that's when we can feel like the world is against us. If something annoying happens in the morning and we're like, oh, this is going to be a bad day, something else happens, we're kind of just thinking that the world is against us for that day. Maybe we're tired, overtired, or something like that. And all these horrible things keep happening. But that's usually if we're stressed out, if we're tired, we have more of that mentality. But if we feel like the world has our back and that it's supporting us, that it's there for us, that it's there for our higher self, that can really help building and cultivating connection. And it's really good for those positive feelings of feeling hopeful, feeling energetic, feeling vital. Number 5. So, do I enjoy simple things in life, like spending time in nature? So, we can get very busy, and if we look at movies or like blockbuster films or music entertainment, it's all like so much bright lights and it's such a show, and there needs to be so much special effects and big things like that because we're just so used to it now, and we just want that exciting, like want bigger and better kind of mentality. But can we go back to basics? Because it's really hard to have that meaningful connection but it's just so over the top and so done. So when we strip it back, and simple is best for connecting and having meaningful connections, simple is best. So think about the simple things that you just enjoy and that maybe they bring you the most happiness, the most peace, the most joy. So just for me, just thinking about what one of my most favorite things and that brings me the most joy is just a beach walk. Just walking along the beach, usually in the morning, is just where nothing more than that. I'm not working out, I'm not, trying to do anything else. Just that walk along the beach is just where I feel so connected, and all of those positive feelings are just from that experience. Okay, number 6. Do I allow myself to take a break from my schedule, to-do list, and general busyness of life? So, life can get, at times, for sure, more busy, can get more hectic. Things can just keep coming and coming, and we just have to get them done, and that's fine. But it's just about being aware that that might be happening and taking some time, especially during those more busy times, taking that extra bit of time or scheduling in time when we can just take a break. Because when we're busy, it's really hard to have that deep connection, and we're not getting that nourishment from the inside. It's all very, we're in that fight and flight mode, so it's not very sustainable. So we can be busy, we can be getting things done off our to-do list, but we're going to burn out because we haven't connected and we haven't truly relaxed and been able to heal our bodies. It's just going, going, going without restoring. So taking that break in a schedule, in your to-do list, things are busy, just putting that in, making that a high priority and a value, that you have that connection time or you have that break. That could just be like maybe once a month you get a massage, but even littler things that you can just do at home. Maybe it's going to bed half an hour earlier, maybe it's taking a bath. It's finding something that allows you to take a break and connect and slow down. Number 7. How often do I allow myself to just be? So it kind of leads on to that from that question, but not having a schedule, not having a to-do list, not being busy, and just being. And when you just being. You can be doing things. It's a funny thing to try and put into words because it's more about how it feels and that experience of just being. And when you're being, you're not really looking at the time. You're not thinking about what you're achieving. You're just being. You can fully just relax. So how often do I allow myself to just be? So they're the 7 questions that you'll find in the Wellness Awareness booklet. So now, before we get on to the exciting announcement, I'm just going to talk about a few practices, some really simple techniques that you can do, that you can bring in to your day-to-day life to cultivate that deeper connection and all those health benefits that it brings with it. So these are the ones that I'm doing throughout the week. So I'm going in order from Monday to Friday. And as I said, these are uploaded on YouTube for you to return to time and time again whenever you need. At the moment, only Monday is uploaded, I think. So I've got a few more to do. But the first one was a check-in and connect, I called it. And it's using a Qigong movement. And it's just really simple. And you're just bringing some movement, connecting your body movement with the breath, and then your mind follows it. So mind, body, breath, connection. And that helps us to become really present and ask ourselves how we're going. So you really simply, you can find this one on YouTube, bring the arms up and then you bring them down. And you can do that once, 3 times is usually what we do in Qigong, but you can do it as many times as you need. You're just connecting the breath with the arms. And then in the practice, and what's really nice to do is once you've done it, you can have the arms down by the sides. You can have them on the heart space or on the belly, or anywhere that feels comfortable. And just for a moment, you're doing that pause and you're doing that check-in. You can ask yourself, how am I feeling? How's my body? How's my mind? Whatever it is. So that's the first one. The next one, that was Tuesday, was basic self-care. So this is just really looking at our basic needs that we need as a human to survive and then to thrive as well. So these were, it's a journaling practice, so you could write it down or you could do it in notes in your phone or you could just think about it. But we're ranking each one out of 5. So 5 being the best, you're so happy with it. It's nourishing. It's exactly what you need at the moment. So there was sleep, nutrition, activity, and activity meant mental stimulation and body as well. So our movement, activity, things like that. The next was rest, and that included our physical body as well as our mental body. So is your mind getting rest? Is your body getting rest? And the 5th one was play. So do you have enough playtime? And in other words, do you have time just to be? You're giving it a rank out of 5 and just seeing from there if there's any ones that are lower or any that you're like, oh, actually might need to, I didn't realize that was slipping. I need to focus on that one. How can I do that? And you'll work out a strategy to bring that back up, to boost it back up. And we did loving kindness this morning. And tomorrow is about gratitude, because connection just brings with it gratitude, appreciation. And Friday's practice is about nature appreciation. So it's helping us be able to be really present and connect with nature around us. So you'll need to be looking at, you might have a house plant, you might be looking out the window, you might actually be out somewhere in nature for this one, somewhere where you can observe a natural element, the sky, plants, trees, water, whatever it is. So there's a few, but before, as I said, it was, we can do that mindful walking, just being in nature, observing. And most importantly, just finding your own way to connect with yourself in a loving, nurturing, nourishing, healthy way. So it's nearly 20 past, but I wanted to start talking about it now. We'll just wrap up with connection first before I get onto the announcement. So that's connection. And we have purpose and practice next week, which relates to connection. So each week we're kind of, as I said last week, it's like we have an onion and we're just peeling back the layers. So the first one on the onion was physical. So we looked at our body, our environment around us, and then it was our mentality, our thoughts, and it was emotions, how we feel, and then it was our spirituality, what we feel connected to. Now it's our connection. So our relationships to the self, others, the world around us. And then next week, for our last and final one of the wellness awareness, is purpose and practice, which is really fun because it's kind of putting everything together and just taking that step, taking that action to really, because you've got everything in place and then doing what you need to do, doing what you want to do. And that's really just being your highest self. So purpose and practice is next week. But the announcement, very exciting at the HCA. So we're all about wellness, well-being, holistic health, and really supporting ourselves from the inside out, being able to connect with what we need and being able to implement really simple and natural things into our day-to-day. We're making it health and wellness accessible, and we're extending what the definition means to be well. It's not just about what we eat. It's not just about what we do at the gym. It's so much more than that, to support ourselves holistically and in healthy ways. So, in saying that, the announcement is that on the 10th of May, the HCA is releasing a free wellness program. So, this wellness program, it has been cultivated and created with much mindfulness and just seeing how it can really support you to become your highest and healthiest self, and going at it from lots of different angles and in lots of different ways. And it's very thorough and there's a lot of stuff in there. So I might just run through what's in it, and then we'll just go from there. But the 10th of May, you'll be able to get this free wellness program from the Health Coach Approach website. So it's not up there yet. You'll have to wait until the 10th of May to be able to purchase this. But it is for free. So I just want to get it out there and just spread the word of what it really means to be well. And we're changing that definition of what it means to be well and how we can support ourselves and others. So it's okay, let's talk about the first little what you get in the free wellness program. It is movement. So I've broken movement down into two ways we can view it, and both ways are needed and both ways are going to support you. And when you understand movement in these two ways, it will make life a lot easier to know what you need, rather than getting really bogged down with like super details of like what weights and all of that stuff. This is taking the bigger perspective, the bigger look, and you're really going to be able to feel empowered and have that knowledge to know what kind of practice will best support you. So that's movement. It's broken down into two different concepts so that you can bring that in for you. And these concepts, you'll be familiar with them, but we go through them a lot more in the free wellness program, is yin and yang. So that yin is that restorative, relaxing mode, energy quality, and Yang is that fiery, it's that energetic, it's that aliveness, it's strength, it's fitness, it's power. So it's broken down into these two concepts. And from there, I go through what they are, when we would use them, why we would use them, and how we can use them. So this is all in the whole wellness program it has videos that goes along, so I'm explaining it. It has text that you read with it, and it's like a course that you work through online, and it's all virtual. This is your virtual hub of wellness. And there's also a booklet to be downloaded as well that just has all of it summarized, so you can just have it nice and simply there, so you don't have to log back in and go through it step by step. You can just have that PDF there, and you can refer back to the practices. So we have movement. We also have meditation. So we've trained our body, what we need to use for our body, and we're training our mind using meditation. So when we become still with the body, we tap into that other part of wellness that we just can't access when we're moving. So meditation side. And this is broken down into, you get 2 meditations. So 2 15-minute guided meditations in this, as well as an explanation of why they work and how they work. And I don't think I mentioned, but with the movement, you actually get 2 practices. And these are mindful movement yin practices, mindful movement yang practice. And they're both, I think one's 45 minutes, the other is 50 minutes. So it's a really decent practice, and you can do the whole one, or you can just take little sections out of it and just getting an understanding of what that concept means. So you get those 2 15-minute movement practices, 2 guided meditations that are 15 minutes in length, and they're 2 awesome strategies, and they're my favorite ones. That's why I pick them, and they're the ones I use all the time. And they're for both 2 different benefits why you would use them. So they are different, and you can use them in different ways. That's a meditation. You also get, so you've got movement, meditation, mindfulness is the other one, of course. And this is daily mindfulness techniques. So it's daily mindfulness and wellbeing techniques. And I give you 5. And these 5 can be used just throughout your day. And they're very simple to use. They're great. I use them with some students that I have that maybe suffering from anxiety or things like that, or just throughout the day. And it's so good, even if we're not feeling anxious, if we're healthy, if we're well, these are great to regain focus, clarity, and just support our brain function and our body as well. So we're just functioning in the highest possible way that we can. So while these strategies are great for mental health issues, they're great just when we're feeling healthy as well, just to keep supporting our mental health and our whole well-being. But you get 5 different daily mindfulness techniques. And again, I run through them, I explain them, I give you an overview of when to use them, what they're good for. And they're so great. I love them. The next is, so we've got movement, meditation, daily mindfulness, and then we've got breath. The breath is so important. The breath is so key to access. And you get 3 different types of breath work. So this is different breath exercises. And there's one to be energized, there's one for calming, and one that's just mindful. So 3 very different but very powerful, and I think they're all very complementary. So I wouldn't just give you one without giving you the other one to support it, just so you can have um, that holistic practice for yourself. So the breath, very exciting. So movement, meditation, daily mindfulness, and the breath. Plus that you got that booklet downloaded that has all of the techniques in it, so you can just refer to that really easily. You can maybe print that off, you can save that on your computer and just refer to that anytime that you need, and share it with friends, share it with if you're a teacher, you can share it with students. If you're a parent, you can go through it with your child if they're feeling anxious or overwhelmed or whatever it is, scared, nervous. If they're feeling good and you just want to become more mindful or do a breath work with them together or a movement practice, it's beautiful to do. So with all that, you also get, which I think is a really important aspect of it, is a 30-day wellness tracker. Now, I've given you all this stuff, all the movement, meditation, mindfulness, and breath. And now you get to figure out how you're going to implement it into your day-to-day life. So that 30-day wellness tracker, it gives you an overview of how to use it and a suggestion of how you can implement that, as well as a reflection after that 30 days to see what worked well, what didn't, what you want to change for next time. So you can really use these practices and focus on one or bring in more. So that's what you get. But if you purchase this free wellness program on the 10th, so on the first day that it is released, on the 10th of May, you get a bonus prize. And this one is awesome. So I'm not going to give away, I'm going to keep it a surprise. But if you download this free wellness program on the 10th of May, you get that free prize included. And it's just for that day. And then it's gone. So the free wellness program is still available from the 11th of May and onwards. But just the prize, the free bonus prize, which I just love, and I just really wanted to put it in there and share it with you for those people that download it on the first day, which is the 10th of May. So it's 7:30, so I'm going to leave it there. Any questions or comments, queries, anything that has come up, please message me. You can do this through email at connect@thehealthcoachapproach.com.au. You can do it through any of the social media, Instagram, Facebook. Make sure you get onto YouTube, look at those wellness practices, and put it in your calendar, put it in your diary. 10th of May is the free HCA wellness program plus the bonus prize. So excited to share what I've been working on. And again, if you have any questions or comments, just let me know. We'll just have a little close. Let's just do our arms up as we breathe in. Make sure I'm not knocking my plan over. Breathe in, stretch up, stretch the spine, maybe lean to one side and then lean to the other. Stretch up a little more in the center and then exhale. Bring the arms down, a big exhale. Thank you for joining me tonight. This has been Emma at the HCA doing the Connection Wellness Awareness area. Have a beautiful evening, and I'll see you same time, same place next week for our last and final wellness awareness aspect, purpose and practice. Until then, bye.